All right, the watch list for Wednesday, which will be October 7th. I'm going to start with VDSI. It's trying to break above the September highs here, and nice little volume pop today. So I want to watch this one for like a red to green or some kind of follow-through setup on Wednesday. That's VDSI, SYRX. Now this is a very weird-looking chart, and you might look at this and say, why in the heck does it even have this on watch? But it gapped down September 25th, it looks like. Gap down to $1.30 and sold off to $1, and then just did nothing. And then today announced, like, I don't know what it was, like a $91 million contract or something. So it gaps up and hit $1.30 again, all the way down to $1.06. So this has nice support below. And after that news, I think this is kind of like a sleeper play for Wednesday. Might give a narrow range, maybe in the first 30 minutes, and then an upside break. You never know. If this thing can get over $1.30 one of these days, it could just go up to $1.60 real quick. Just some strange action today. I think the Bears just got a hold of it, but it's a great candidate for a long tomorrow, in my opinion. CANF, made a call on this one today, and it worked pretty well. I like the fact that it kind of held up, and I want to watch this for maybe a red to green, some kind of follow through tomorrow. CPGX. Okay, this is a relatively new issue, but I like the increased volume over the last week, really over the last couple days, and so it's interesting over Tuesday's high. So over 1905, this one might get going. I'm actually going to, as I'm babbling here, I'm going to put 1906 in my notes, because if it can get over today's high, this one might make a decent move. Never traded it before, but worth watching. Nothing that intriguing about this chart, MPO, except that it went from 2 to almost 7 on this day, came back some, and then retested and actually broke through that at one point, and it's really held up very well. It's a low float oil play, and if you look at oil, which has been grinding over the last month, a nice little breakout in oil today. This one might get a follow through tomorrow, in which case it's not a bad idea, in my opinion, to look for a low float oil play. So the chart is just, holding this $6 or $5.90, $5.80, whatever, somewhere around there, support. And if oil goes again, this one might just go. It's kind of another sleeper pick, but I like the idea. WGBS, called this as a gap play today. Unfortunately, I had delayed charts, so I didn't get the trade myself. My charts were, I don't know, for whatever reason, 30 seconds behind, if not more. But I pointed it out in time for people to get it. So anyway, it gave back a lot of its gains, but because of the volume, I still want to watch it for maybe a red to green tomorrow. Just show you the call I made today. This is what I look for on a low float gap play. I like to see an opening red 2-minute candle, which, to simplify it, what I tell my members is I like to see sellers come in, and then I like to see these sellers fail. So as it started to come back up near $1.60, I said, hey, this gets through the high of the day, it might go. And that's exactly what happened. So, there's a recipe for what I look for. CTRV, I can show you the same thing yesterday. Right? Same thing. Low float gapper, opening 2 minutes, sellers came in. These sellers fail, it's off to the races. I think I called this long, I can't remember now. 361, and it was off to the races. So that's sort of the recipe I look for on gappers. And, we'll be looking for gappers as well tomorrow. But WGBS certainly met that today. And maybe some follow through tomorrow. All right, so Juno, Juno, very nice little breakout today. And again, it's extended, so I don't want to be a chaser, but maybe a red to green in that one tomorrow, or some kind of low risk long setup. Just told you about CTRV. It gapped down today and sold off, much lower volume than yesterday. So sometimes you see this. Sometimes you see a big move, and then, low volume pullback, and then the third day it rips again. So it certainly doesn't cost me anything to have CTRV on a chart. And then lastly, XOMA. I've been watching this one for a turn back up after the 25 million share gap up. And it hasn't given me a trade yet, but I want to watch it because one of these days it might just turn back up. All right. In addition to this list, hopefully we'll catch some gappers in the morning. I'll leave it at that, and we will talk to you guys tomorrow.